Hello and welcome back, everyone. Tone here, and today I am actually extremely excited to be playing Slice and Dice again. And we aren't just returning to this game, we're returning on the occasion of a huge, massive new update for this game. The 2.0 update is officially here, at least to the itch.io storefront. It may not be available on Google Play or the iOS store yet. But it is here on itch.io, and I have updated. We see a cool new title screen here with a fresh background. Very good stuff there. If you don't know Slice and Dice at all, I've done a few more videos of it on this channel before, but you don't have to go back to see them because we will be diving in here and explaining things and all that good stuff. So, we're going to get started really soon here, but right before we do, I'm just going to talk about my experience with 2.0, which is nada. I have not played this at all, and I thought it would be fun just to dive in and see what is there for us. I will say it's against the game's recommendation, which says you should at least look at the changelog because so much has changed. But I am not going to do that. It transferred over a certain number of achievements that I had from the base game, but a lot of them have changed, so a lot of stuff hasn't been unlocked. We see we're restricted to classic mode and hard here, but there's a ton of new modes here. There's so much new stuff in this game, guys. I'm excited to check this out. What I think I am going to do is there is now an unlock everything button, and I'm going to click this. And I'll tell you why. I love games that give the player the option of this, because some of these games, if you don't like interacting with achievement and unlock systems, meta progression systems, feel quite grindy to the player who doesn't like that stuff. I feel like that player is the minority. Maybe not to my viewers and my channel, but to like the broader gaming audience. So we get forgotten sometimes, but I like this stuff. I will say that I like these Slice and Dice achievements, and I think we will attempt those achievements anyways at some point. They'd be fun to do on this channel, on stream, just by myself, to be quite frank here. But even when I was playing 1.0 Slice and Dice, or I was technically on 1.03, I always felt like it was noticeable that I was missing items and options because I hadn't unlocked everything. And I hadn't, the other game, the old version didn't have this, but I hadn't chosen to like unlock everything. And I just want to play with all the toys. So this isn't for everyone, but I am going to go ahead and do this. So 100% game unlocked. Holy cow, look at all of these new difficulty options. I've been told by people who played the beta for this that hard and unfair got significantly more difficult already. So to see even more difficulty options is insane. Oh, this is cool. So we can actually re-enable. Oh, I love that. So we can go back. So does it? I think we just have the unlocks. Okay, we can still go for the achievements separately. Awesome. Okay, I love how that is implemented. So even before getting into the game, we're kind of like seeing what all is new here. I don't even want to look through the almanac because there's going to be like all these new characters and stuff here. But we will get there as time goes on. Okay, so we unlocked everything. The other thing I will say about this update before we get started, and then we will get started right after that, is this update is so big that my approach to it is, and I'll explain it like this. So when we're playing these roguelike games, as we play them, we develop heuristics where we know that like these items or strategies or characters or abilities or whatever are good in like almost every scenario over like this other option. And it lets us quickly make decisions. We're not like deciding things from like complete base principles. We have an understanding of what works and what doesn't. And we make our decisions based on our like experience and knowledge of that, not working out like calculations and like stuff from like the ground up. For an update this big, and this big, like if you remember Cogmine Beta 11 is like even bigger than that. From what I understand, I haven't played it yet, but just from what I've seen, I have a feeling it is very big. I think we need to ditch everything we know about this game as far as strategies, what classes and builds are good, how to approach certain enemies, because a lot of it will be different. And I'm not going to work everything up from like base principles like immediately because it's going to be a drag. But it's something to keep in mind is that we want to reanalyze, re-review our understanding of certain game mechanics and how different abilities and items fit into the game as we go along. I'm not going to like do that all like starting from the very beginning with every decision we make, but as I go, I'm going to want to be reviewing things and saying, does this still fit into my understanding of the game, the framework that I like build strategies for this game through? Does this like still fit in the same way, or do I need to adjust my understanding of that, my heuristics of it as we go on? So that's just something else to keep in mind. And one more thing I will say, on my website, tonehack.net, I have some probability tables for dice that I find to be very handy when playing this game. If you want to do like some more in-depth calculations instead of just going on gut feel for certain things. So feel free to check that. I'll link that in the comments, but it's also one of the last posts I put on my website, tonehack.net. And before we get started, if you guys would like to support this channel and my other related projects, you can do so over at patreon.com/tonehack, so feel free to check that out. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's just jump into unfair. Let's do hard for our first one. Unfair on the old one was kind of difficult. It was difficult, yes. But even for like top players, like the win rate wasn't like huge, and I want to like get past the first couple levels here. I'm already seeing a bunch of new stuff, which is super exciting. So level 1 here, we have to choose a curse before we start the game. That's what hard difficulty does. So Stitch Plus, the most damaged enemy at the end of the turn self heals 2. We have expensive spells. Everything is +1 mana cost. For top 3 poisoned, so that's one that was there before. Our top 3 characters would start poisoned. Monster HP ++++. I don't know what this symbol means, but they start with more health. Oh, here we go. Full clear descriptions. All monsters get +1 hit point for each 4 base hit points. Okay, that makes sense. And it looks like we can like re-roll this or something. Like there's probably more modifiers and they just give us a choice of 3. What do we want to go with here? Well, we should see what our characters are now because these are almost all new characters. So we have the Lost. They start with cruel attacks. They do ×2 versus targets on half or less hit points. I'm immediately noticing that plus monster hit points almost synergizes with this guy a little bit. They have a ranged poison attack, dodge all attacks. This is like a baby version of one of the previous classes that were at a higher tier. We have the Brigand. 3 damage, Exert. This is a new mechanic. Exert. Replace all sides with blanks until the end of next turn. End of next turn. That means we get to play this turn, but our next turn is forfeit? Unless we synergize with an item? That's how I'm reading that. We'll have to see how that actually plays out. The Defender. This guy have more hit points than he used to have. This is one of the old classes. Splint. Ooh, this is a mini artificer. All their sides are single use. So we have single use mana and single use heals. And they have the bandage ability, cost 2, heal and shield 1, single cast and cleave. Ooh. That is really strong. I like that. It sounds strong at least. We'll see how it actually plays. And the Initiate. They also have a few single-use mana sides. They have a mana growth side and a mana cantrip side. Very interesting. And their ability is Gather. Replace blank sides with +2 mana this turn. Does this apply to all characters? Yeah, that actually combines with the Brigand pretty well. The only thing we can really cast right now is Bandage. Okay, with all that in mind, what do we want here? My gut tells me that this is not that bad later in the run, but will be rough early. Which is what people tend to gravitate towards too, as far as the curses in the last version of this game. I don't know if that's just because you lose early and you just get to restart faster, or if it's because the late game was already hard. So usually your win rate's probably higher by having the late game be easier. Monster HP is not too bad, except it often puts a lot of enemies out of kill range with how things do early. We don't have a lot of offense here, I feel like. But poison is good. I guess we're going to build a lot of mana and use burst. Top 3 poisoned is probably pretty solid with the splint. Although I'm really concerned about Lost only having 3 hit points if I start with top 3 poisoned. I'm leaning towards Stitch or monster hit points. I think this will be absolutely brutal early. I'm just gonna go with monster hit points, I think. That will help us at least get past the early game, I think. I saw a skip tutorial button. There we go. I don't need to see that. Alright, what is a Gnoll? This is a new enemy. 1 armor, reduce the damage taken from spells and dice by 1. Ooh. Oh wait, is that... Oh, that's from everything. So they only have 3 hit points, but they negate 1 damage. They have a 6 damage attack. That is insane. They are fortunately attacking my defender. Oh, they're using their 4 damage heavy. Heavy targets the enemy with most hit points. Okay. Wow, this guy's nuts. This guy just wrecks your party. A level 1 goblin? But these flee if they're alone now. Interesting. The goblins used to gain pips to all their sides when they took damage. Or when they're... Well, I'm sorry, for every enemy that died was I think how they worked, but now they just run if they're the last one left. Interesting. And now they're an early game enemy. 4 damage, 1 damage cleave, 3 damage eliminate. Targets the enemy with the least hit points. Which counts... The enemy damage goes from top to bottom, so the Gnoll is hitting the defender. Which put him down to 3 hit points, so now this guy's hitting them as well. And they must have randomized between these two, because they both would have had 3 hit points. Okay. Alright, well, what do we want to do with our turn? Healing does nothing, so we reroll that. Cantrip we will reroll. This already gave us 1 hit point. Cantrip activates if it rolls, if you roll it even during rolling phase. Poison sounds amazing against the Gnoll. So I think we're going to keep that for the Gnoll. Actually, we can probably kill the Gnoll if we keep this to hit them with it to do 2 damage. We can kill them before they attack, which would be nice. Alright, so I'm going to keep that. We might not even need a second turn, so this feels good. I want to re-roll this and try to hit one of these two. Which... I should look at my probability table. That would be a... Well, we basically have 4 sides we're okay with here. And 2 rerolls. That means on 2 rerolls with 4 faces, we have an 89% chance, roughly, to hit that. So I like my odds. And when I minimize and come back, it does that dice thing, so that's what's going on there. So we will re-roll that. Yeah, we're rolling the rest of these then. I guess I'll generate mana. There's nothing else you can do. Same with you. This 1 damage does absolutely nothing because it'll do nothing to the null, so we're gonna re-roll here. Okay, we got punished. Pretty hard for doing that, but again, that was about an 11% chance, so I will play with the odds normally. I can actually just kill this guy with burst now, can't I? That guy runs away. Okay. Maybe I overthought that turn. We didn't have the mana for that before, but yeah, burst helps a lot against that dude. Alright, we get to level up. The Dabbler was always very strong before, so was the Soldier. These were two, like, S-tier picks for tier 2 heroes previously. I don't know how much I'm feeling this Lost guy with 3 hit points, so I kind of just want to get the Dabbler in there. I guess the benefit to this guy is if they die, the next turn I think they start with 2 hit points anyways. And maybe that's why they're the Lost. Like, you just lose them and don't care. Soldier is pretty sweet too. I think the Dabbler's just hard to... What's not to like? So something you can do now is skip your hero upgrades. Which sometimes comes into play where, like, late game you have a really good synergy with one of your tier 2 heroes. And you actually make your party worse by upgrading. You have to have a pretty strong synergy for that to be the case, but it's nice to have that option. Just skip it. But then you're going to be stuck with a tier 2 hero late game. I'm going to go ahead and take the Dabbler though. Alright, we have a new enemy here. Let's see. Back row works the same. We can't attack them except with ranged. Or if they're the only ones left. We have Thorn. 2 hit points. Immune to spells, so my initial thought was that we could just burst that. Nope, not here. Spiky 5. On hit, damage the attacker for 5. I'm noticing right away that these guys are throwing out some big damage numbers compared to the first game. And what do they have here? 1 damage Petrify. This game got a lot harder, it seems, and I'm loving it. Okay. How do we want to play this? This kills the Thorn and the Brigand. But if I can bandage the Brigand, then they'll survive. I think I just do that. Because I don't have a lot of other 2 damage attacks except with my burst. If I kill the Thorn, then this guy doesn't die. I'm gonna reroll you, Defender. I think I'll reroll this. And that, and that. Okay, I think we'll just take this so we get guaranteed 2. Take 2 there, that's a burst. I think we actually have lethal here. Oh, I have to protect the Brigand first though, so they don't die. I can just do that with burst, I guess. And you can kill that. And this squad has a lot of strong first turns because of all these single use. Hitting that 3 mana is nuts, actually. Alright, we get to pick an item now. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, this music is not the game music, if it wasn't obvious. I don't know if this version of the game has music. Looks like just sound effects still. There's a ton of options here too that weren't here before, which are really cool. We'll probably look at those after playing a game or two to cater to our preferences, but we don't really know what our preferences are yet. Alright, we have to pick a tier 1 item. Wine is start poisoned, but the monster with the most hit points also starts poisoned. And ballet shoes, swap the left side with the rightmost side. Both of these are pretty bad, I think. I think I never really gelled with wine, so we'll take a random tier 1 item. Ballet shoes only really applies to some... There's some synergies where other items like really buff your rightmost side, and so you can sometimes get like a crazy synergy with that, but that's not like that's a speculative thing that helps us later. It's not what we want to be taking right now. Random reward, copper ring, +1 empty max hit points and +1 max stored mana. I like that max stored mana since we can generate a lot on the first turn, but not on subsequent turns. That can come into play. Previously, most of the level 1 or tier 1 items were pretty bad, so something that gives us any amount of use is pretty good. And I should actually put this... I'll put this on you, because I want you to have a little bit more hit points, because I think you're going to be important to keeping everyone alive. It is an empty hit point. Now these enemies I'm familiar with. Yeah, it looks like they have gone unchanged. Okay. You know what I'm noticing? I think this used to boost 3 hit point enemies to 4. So this got nerfed, I think. Am I remembering that right? I think that's how it worked before. I'd have to double check. It made the early game really difficult. So this is a little easier for now. I don't know if this is for higher hit points enemies, if this means they end up getting more hit points. I forget what the percentage is, but I think 3 hit point enemies used to get 4, and it used to make the game really difficult in some ways because of that. Alright, well I think on this board we try to kill the rats quickly. I can re-roll this guy. I'm pretty happy with pretty much anything here except for the heart. You rolling your 3 side works well, but I also like the side that you came up with. The chances of you rolling the 1s after re-rolling twice is pretty low, so I'll re-roll you. Healing on the first turn is pretty bad. The only thing we can do is get 1 more hit point here. I'm re-rolling everyone. Okay, I think I'll keep you now. I think I'd rather do damage. I'll keep you. This was a bad turn for rolls, huh? I will re-roll this. There's a chance that we completely dud. We can't do anything with mana now anyways. And so I'm re-rolling the rest of these. Okay, that worked out a lot better. Okay, so the wolf is attacking you, so you're going to get blocked. Because I don't think I'm going to attack the wolf. I can do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage to them. We could kill the wolf with 2 bursts. And then the rats just do damage to each of these dudes. Like, I can kill 2 rats as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna attack the rats. I think we want to focus this guy. He was doing the most damage out of the rats and attacking one of our low hit point guys. I can block for you. And I think I'm going to hold my burst. Rather than try to kill a rat with some overkill this turn. Which means I'm just going to take 2 extra damage, but I'm not too bothered by it. Already using that copper ring to hold some mana. I'll take your 3. I'm gonna reroll that. You can kill the rat, so you're not gonna take any damage. I'm gonna reroll the rest of these. That's a burst, so I may as well take that. I'll take that in case I roll the one side here. And I think this 1 damage is actually pretty good. Actually, I need to block for the initiate, so I should see if you can reroll that. Okay. Hey, we got an achievement. Accumulate 10 mana. Unlocks an item, but we unlocked all the items manually. Interesting how the screen goes black. Wait, so what does this do? Add single use and cantrip to all mana/mana gain sides. I don't know how I feel about that. This is another, Thing is, a lot of the stuff that has single use normally has higher values on it, so it's like really good early, but not great late. This, well, you'll be nothing later. This makes them single use, but you don't get that bonus. Instead, you get like another activation on that dice because you get to re-roll it after it procs. I don't like this that much, but there are a lot of items that replace empty sides, and that's where I think something like this comes into play. I don't like that alone too much, though. Again, there are situations where all this stuff shines, but in general, I don't think I'm too fond of that. Can I just kill everything with burst? I can use 5 bursts. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we'll just do... Actually, I'll just kill you. I should have blocked for you, but doesn't matter. What the heck? This is new. Enemies will try to flee if they think the fight is hopeless. There is no gameplay benefit either way. Interesting. Wow. I assume this is a mechanic that just values me, the player's time. So it just ends a fight where we're going to win next turn anyways. But in addition to that, it gives us the option in case there was something I could have done on my turn to better the end state, which would probably be like reviving an ally if I had someone with revive. Wow. I like this on so many levels. Yeah, get out of here, rat. I don't need to waste our time rolling dice. Curious to see like what situations that pops up in. That was a rather obvious one. Alright, we get to upgrade another character. Okay, so the collector has some new trinkets. Focus. ×2 versus the target of the previously used dice this turn. 1 damage duplicate. Copy this onto all allied sides this turn. This looks awful at first, but when we have a bunch of guys with single use sides, it actually gets a little bit better because we might end up duplicating onto their sides so they can do 1 damage. They get exert now. They have a 2 range side. What does Bard do now? Shield 2 charge, bonus equal to your current mana. Oh my gosh. We generate so much mana. They have the reroll cantrip and shield all allies. I think they used to only have 1 of these, but now it's on 2 sides. Right? I might be misremembering this, but I think this got shifted around quite a bit. I think I like the Bard the most here. This collector doesn't excite me too much. Upgrade the Bard. And I don't think that changes where we put that. Alright, our first boss, the Alpha. They look unchanged. I think this guy used to come with 2 wolves. Maybe it was just 1. Maybe part of it's that I'm playing on hard instead of unfair. Okay, well this block side, I think we'd rather roll a shield all because these guys are doing cleave attacks for low damage. I will take that though, I'll take that. Or reroll you. Reroll you. Do I want to exert here? I think I do. They actually do more damage by exerting. Because otherwise I do 1 damage this turn, 1 damage next turn. I can block for 1. So exert is actually solid here. We get to do 1.5 damage over 2 turns. Or 1.5 damage per turn over 2 turns for 3 total. Alright, a lot of single use. We burst on the Alpha. Well, not literally with burst, but they have 16 health. I wonder if that's more than they had before with hard enemy or tough enemies. We can do 6 damage to something, plus up to 8 damage and burst. What does Gather do again? Replace blank sides with +2 mana, right? Does that work on this? Does it replace with blanks? I guess so. We probably save some money for Gather next turn for the Brigand. I like how there's all these synergies. The starting squad was always the same before. I assume these are somewhat randomized now. And there's a lot of like cool little synergies between them. Man, this update is sweet. Alright, so I think maybe we just kill the wolf. I could at most this turn do 10 damage to the Alpha. I could kill them next turn, but I mean the wolf isn't doing much to us this turn. Maybe I do burst on the Alpha next turn. Okay, I changed my mind. And then we'll save our mana because we're not going to change anything by playing burst this turn. And the wolf isn't even killing my dabblers, so we can spend this entire turn trying to focus on the Alpha. Check that out. We have cantrip rerolls giving synergy, or yeah, we have reroll on the Bard giving synergy to our cantrip on the Initiate. Okay, so I need to do 8 damage. I have 4 from burst right now. I'm gonna just reroll everything for damage. If I can manage to kill the Alpha, then I don't have to block anything this turn. That's 8 damage right there, so that works for me. I forgot we had another reroll. Do I want to heal? Not really. I just want DPS here. I'm curious. Yes, Gather can be used on the Brigand. There's no reason to now, but why not? But if I had if there's 2 sides that are empty, then we can play Gather. Gather lets us be like, lets us use our rerolls like more liberally, which is nice too. Okay, well, let's just burst on the Alpha. And I will save that. Man, I feel like the game got harder, but like, we're crushing, so maybe our starting squad got stronger too, even though the enemies seem to get harder on some of these waves. We could block all of this damage that he's doing, but we don't care. I think we just want to... Oh, this guy doesn't do DPS anymore, but the reroll would be nice. And I have gather if I roll a blank, so actually a blank here might be more valuable than anything else. That is actually funny. Like, I might keep this blank and hope I roll a blank with you. I like how there's a differentiator for the single-use blanks. The X's are different now. So many nice touches in this update. Come on, blank. Never thought I'd be rolling for blanks. Good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, this update is incredible. I am really enjoying this. So many, like, very sound, like, design decisions and stuff. Really good stuff. Look, the random item now tells you what tier of item you'd get, which is really cool. It used to not tell you, so it was kind of like hidden knowledge, like spoiler knowledge, where experienced spoiled players or players who were like willing to look up guides or references would know that, but your average player wouldn't. Now it just tells you. Why do I need to go to the game to figure this out, to make like the best decision that I can with information given to me, or information not given to me for no reason? Now it does. I love decisions like that. Alright, well, what do we do here? Sapphire, replace the middle side with +2 mana, or Blessed Water, replace the rightmost side with Heal 2 Vitality. Vitality also grants the target +2 empty max hit points this fight. Neat. Oh, that's what this always did. It gave you plus max. It just has a different name now. I don't think we need the random here. These are good enough to not risk getting a tier 1, which is going to be assuredly worse. I mean, replacing this middle side with 2 mana is good. Basically just remove single use from that. The middle side is usually something that's pretty good. I don't think we're going to want to be replacing it that often. The rightmost side is often blank, so I think we'd take Holy Water. Just because we know we will be able to use it most of the time. And we may as well throw that on the healer. This makes our Gather a little worse to hit. But I don't think we want to play towards Gather. It's more of a thing that we can take advantage of. Okay, so we have the Snake. They remain unchanged. Annoying, poisonous enemies. Mana just carries for us right now, so I think I will keep mana here. Reroll everything else. That Exert side has grown on me. I didn't like it at first, but I'm taking it. Mana growth. We could reroll for the cantrip, especially considering that I'm going to reroll this and we can get a reroll here. But look at that. Was it like that before? Ooh, it's like aligning the dice when I click too. Oh, double clicking does that. Oh, that's so cool. I think there was an auto align option too. Or disable dice align. I guess that is the option. Very cool. It's almost like too neat. Like, this should make it easier for me to make a decision, but it, like, looking at it is just like, it just feels wrong. If the game was always like this, I wouldn't feel like that, but after playing so much with it, like, just scattered. That's funny, but I like how it does that. That might have been in the game before, I don't think it was. But it might have just been something I never noticed. I think I'm just gonna reroll all of these. Initiate was kind of worse, but I'm okay with it. I have 3 damage and 5 mana. I think we want to burst something down. The initiate dies if I kill the snake first. I think we want to kill the goblin, then the snake next turn. It'll be hard to kill the snake next turn. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this because I don't think it's gonna come into play later, and maybe that 1 health will. Like if this guy tried to do 4 damage to them. Oh my gosh, did it come into play? Well, I'll take 3 mana from you. Okay, that's already a kill on the snake, I think. 2 bursts in that. I'm paranoid, so I'm gonna keep re-rolling. Okay, didn't matter. Well, actually, this is a pretty epic gather turn. I like that gather. I wonder if the starting squads are completely random per slot, or if there are like certain synergizing squads. So I feel like the Splint and the Initiate synergize pretty well together. Ooh, is this our next boss? Yeah, level 6, I think it is. What do we have here? Illusions. They have 2 damage Petrify and 2 damage Weaken. These guys are brutal. There's only 1 health each, making you really wish you have a cleave attack. And the War Chief. Oh, they're giving +1 to all of their sides with this commander ability. So these would all normally be only 1. So bursting them down or doing each illusion helps you a lot, which is pretty cool because it rewards either AoE or like single target damage. That's a really cool fight design as well. Another A+ choice. Really sound design decisions all around. I wonder if this applies to themselves. I guess it doesn't matter. Well, maybe it does if there's multiples of these. Or no, that never matters. It just means their stats are going to be the same anyways. And they just do 3 damage every turn. This is a really cool fight. These are all new, by the way. Ooh, 2 new classes I've never seen before. What is this? Double use. Wow, this is new. There used to be single use, but now there's double use. I love it. A revive? I don't think any tier 2s had revive before. I think that was restricted to tier 3, which is interesting. And what is your mana, your spell, which is really important. I'm actually surprised we didn't use bandage at all before, because that's was a really good ability. We just haven't needed to with the damage we could do with burst and our mana gen. Replace blank sides with heal and shield 3 this turn. Interesting. That's really strong. What's your spell? Foretell. +4 mana, future. Effect is delayed until the start of next turn. So it costs 3 to give us 4 mana next turn. This is the ultimate way to spend mana that you aren't going to use this turn, but you're going to lose. It has slightly less value since we can store extra mana. What else do you have? You have a growth side, a single-use poison side, and 2 single-use. I don't like their kit. It would combo with the Disciple, but we obviously can't get both of these. I don't want to take this guy. I think we just take the Disciple out of the fact that I don't like this guy for our squad right now. I mean, this is a lot of mana. If we could roll 3 on like some early turns, like we'll probably like carry. It'll get weak towards the end of the tier 2 heroes. This guy has revive, which I'm probably not going to end up using too much. I think they more consistently generate mana. I think their heal. That synergizes with the Exert. I have a feeling, because there are probably more heroes with Exert, that there's probably more things that replace blank sides in general in this version to synergize. I'm just going to go with the Disciple here. I kind of dug the last guy, and I'm not like super sold on them, but I wasn't digging that Seer. I guess I'm going to give you that. So we have 2 spells that replace blank sides. Alright, I will keep you. I think we need pure damage. We don't care about blocking. But ideally we hit your mana side. I'll take 1 from you because I think we just kill the illusions and then focus down the War Chief. These weaken is brutal, and so is like Petrify can be pretty bad. So I'm good with you getting 1 damage, just so we can burst those down. Take damage on you. Do I take the growth side here? I guess we do. The only benefit would be if I roll the cantrip, which this guy has a reroll side on it, and I'm going to reroll this, so we could have been pretty likely to hit the cantrip. Did not come into play. Did I roll that 3 times? I think I did. Alright, so I think we just kill the illusions. They're all doing the same thing, which I actually think I prefer Petrify to weaken. I wonder if Petrify counts as a blank side for these abilities. We may have an opportunity to science that. Okay. Well, which ones do we want to kill? I think I'm probably most okay with them petrifying my Dabbler. How many can we kill this turn? Oh, we can kill all of them. Alright. Okay, don't have to worry about Petrify. And then we just have to deal with your 3 damage per turn, which I think we are more than capable of. Let's just roll for DPS. Oh wait, this isn't... Oh, can be used twice in a turn. That's like 100 times better than I thought it was. I thought this was like single use, where I could use this twice, and like the graphic would like lose like the top half or something, and then I'd... wow. So this is like a 4 heal, but like way better. I thought I was going to use this twice per level, and then it would be gone. Like how I can only use single use once per level. Okay, Disciple stock just went way, way up for me. This hero is badass. I don't even have anyone else to heal. Yep, you can go ahead and flee. I don't think there's any benefit to me prolonging the fight here. Choose an item. 3. Faint Halo. +1 max hit point this fight whenever you save a hero. Or Enchanted Shield at the start of each turn, self shield 1. Or 2 random tier 2 items. The Cyclops is like an eyeball in the middle. I'll have to see what that does here in a moment. The tier 2s are pretty like solid, but not like amazing. But getting 2 of those could be pretty nice. But these sound like they could be pretty impactful. Start of each turn, self-shield 1. I like this faint halo, because some heroes can save other heroes a lot. Go ahead and grab this. I think our Disciple would get the most value out of that. Our heroes actually haven't been in much danger yet. Maybe I should have played on unfair. I was going to jump up to unfair next time no matter what, so I'm fine starting where we are as we learn things. Let's put the Halo on... I think Disciple is what makes the most sense. And actually, I should have moved this to the Initiate already, because I want them to have more max health. This works for me. Actually, you should probably get that too, because I'm going to be re-rolling you more, and you're going to have more blank sides now. Yeah, you should get both of those. I should have done that before, actually. Alright, well we beat the first 2 bosses, I think. I think those are the boss levels. Every 3 levels, I guess. Maybe this is the boss. I don't know. But regardless, this looks like a good place to stop for now. Okay, yeah, that wasn't a boss level. That was a normal level. Here's the boss right here. I forgot there's a map. So level 8 will be a boss. So regardless, we're going to stop here. This map got updated too, by the way, I think. It looks a bit sexier, sleeker, cooler looking. But the point I was trying to get to is I think we're going to stop here. This feels like a good chunk of time here. I'm spent exploring this game, and I just got to say, hats off to the developer Tan. I think this, like, everything I have seen so far, I have just been in love with this update. So much good stuff, so many like really sound design decisions, which just kind of you don't see it a lot, like that, like really stands out like that. And good design often doesn't stand out, but like just so much stuff that I think is subtle that a lot of games like don't usually do. I think this game is doing right. And that overall builds to like just like an incredibly like better experience. And I mean, I don't have like all the examples to go over now, but like we've been talking about it like left and right throughout this session. Just like, wow, here's a great decision. Like I love this new thing. Like so much good stuff here. So yeah, again, hats off to Tan. Like this is a really good update so far. I'm loving it. My interest in the game has been reinvigorated. It didn't die down before. I just had moved on to other games, but like. It has been ramped up to 11 now, seeing all this cool stuff. Very excited to continue playing this, and we will continue this run pretty here soon, so stay tuned on the channel. But yeah, I'll leave this here, so thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you later.